guess, what are the last, it's probably not been 24 hours, but what have the last, quite a few hours been like as far as processing all that went down last night?
Go ahead.
I mean, I could not sleep on the bus ride home. I was just still so hyped up after that match. And then to wake up this morning and just know that we were still in it, that our season wasn't over, it was a really great feeling to know that we're still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I would say still lots of adrenaline, but I watched some Michigan film today, and that took me back down to the ground pretty quickly to get ready for that.
Have you ever, going back to your playing career, go back that far, have you ever felt that much, I guess, just raw emotion, excitement, just total, like, release adrenaline after a match has just ended as, that moment seemed pretty unique for
Yeah. I would say it may be up there as the top. There's a couple that come to mind when we beat Iowa State the first time we went into the NCAA tournament in 2010. But I think that was like 15-12. I mean, to go to extra innings, when you couldn't get excited. Last year was incredible when we won at North Carolina, but you knew in Game 4 it was looking that way. You had time to process a little bit, like, oh my gosh, we're getting close. This could happen. And last night you couldn't mentally go there because it literally was, up for grabs the whole time. So, and then we had that moment where we thought we had it, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not going to happen to some degree. I mean, not that I didn't believe, but oh my, that moment of that. So, and then the other one that comes to mind is when we beat Wichita State to win our first conference title in the Missouri Valley in 5 at their place. So I would say those three. But the fact that this one was 20-18, the 5th ranked or 4th in the AVCA poll, probably I'd say has to put it at the top of the list just on the stage that it was in.
You'd be happy to know last night Jaali said taking it one match at a time, so she is still locked in. I guess what did you see out of Michigan on film? In your look at them that
I've watched very little. We're acquiring film. This was just some film that we'd recorded. But they're good, but everybody's good, so we know that we're good. But I haven't locked in enough to really speak too much on it.
Jaali, I guess, you are taking it one match at a time is important because if you lose to Michigan, it doesn't matter who else is left in the field. But, I mean, when you look at the rest of the field and your path through it, does the team feel confident that, although you've made it to the Sweet 16, that you still have a chance to go further, that you feel like no matter who you step on the court with, the matchup is at least even, if not favorable?
Yeah, our team's confidence right now is really great. We're not afraid of anyone in the country at this point, so we're just excited for the rest of the way.
I guess, what do you want to see from yesterday? Maybe you haven't had a chance to watch it or dissect it, but what did you think for the whole weekend that you want to see the team maybe get better at next week? I mean, obviously you don't want to complain about 2 wins in the tournament, but I mean, as far as maybe cleaning some things up on your end of the court.
Yeah, I thought at times our passing was inconsistent. I thought, in Game 1 against KU, they won the serve and pass battle. And in Game 2 and 3, we won the serve and pass battle. Game 4, there were a lot of different things that went on in Game 4. And then Game 5, it was pretty close. So, we can't give up those lulls, seizing when we can. Northern Iowa shouldn't have been 5 in our opinion, So doing those things, I think you just want your hitters to come in confident. So there's obviously, a lot of that's just mental, that they come in feeling, some swagger as they're coming in, feeling like they are a little bit not invincible but ready to go. But there's always points that you can look back and say we got to play that point better. I don't see anything glaring that I'm upset about in our game, but there's definitely things that we'll try to fine tune.
What did you learn about the Elite Eight last year? That I guess maybe it's it's just another match. It's USC. You've played them before, but I mean, as far as playing volleyball at that time of the season, maybe physically your body maybe isn't used to that. What's different about playing the Elite Eight one extra weekend that you guys can use experience-wise going forward this year?
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that we want to one-up what we did last season. Last season we lost in the Sweet 16, and we had to go and watch the Elite Eight the next day, and that's not very fun. I'd much rather be on the court.
She said you didn't talk for 48 hours?
No, I did not speak to anyone for 48 hours unless spoken to first.
What did it mean to have your crowd, band, spirit squad, everybody that made the trip down in a full house like that?
One thing that I noticed, it was such an incredible atmosphere. I mean, it's a small venue and all of that, but I felt a lot of fans were for us. You could hear our contingency. So you didn't feel, when you play, when we went to K-State this year, you went to Nebraska, these places that you were just a road game, you knew that everyone was rooting against you. But sure, we had people rooting against us, but I definitely felt people rooting for us. Did you have that feel?
Yeah, it felt like whenever we got a point, the gym was so loud. That has to be one of the smallest venues in the NCAA tournament. So just the way that it gets so loud, even when we only had like 1/8 of the fans in the gym. Along with that, I don't think KU's fans are used to them like losing, so they really weren't like heckling us or anything like that. So it wasn't too bad of a place to play. Were they really?
I didn't hear it.
I
But
didn't hear anything.
I guess, what have you learned? Kirsten, Jaali talked about this yesterday. So, fifth sets, earlier in the season, you guys are over. Now, late in the season, you flip that completely around without actually having any fifth sets to test yourself in throughout the
Right.
season. What changed with this team in regards to maybe being able to finish those off better?
Well, I think we didn't go for it during the non-con. We'd watch film and we were tipping and playing tentative, slow approaches, and at this level, you cannot do that. And I really think a point was when we were watching. I said this the other day. We were watching high school volleyball. We happened to have the whole team there. It was the state tournament, and we were watching. It was end game. It was a game that went to like 30-28, and there was some tipping going on balls that maybe there was opportunities to swing, and our team was going crazy watching it. And I thought it was such a learning moment for some of our players. She doesn't have an issue swinging, but I think it was great for our players to actually see it in action because, we're not going to win every game, but you sure don't want to look back and say, man, that was our opportunity and we didn't go after it. I would rather at least spray a ball to the wall that we were going after high hands or trying to do something or get blocked than just play it in and have the other team crunch it down our throat. You've got to be smart about it if it's not there, but when given the opportunity, you got to go for it. You figure, now Payne's last set, it was not a great set for, but how did we win? We got a ball that they tipped over and we were able to seize that.
Mike, do you got anything?
I'm good.
Matt, are you good?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.